There are a lot of different players pulling the levers of our stock markets. There are hedge fund guys who actively trade, sometimes in the span of milliseconds, to make a profit. There are also social activists trying to show Fortune 500 execs how doing good works can make their companies stronger, even more profitable. And two of the leading corporate activists are the Reverend Seamus Finn and Sister Pat Daly, who join us now. Great to have both of you with us. Good morning.
Good morning, Rebecca.
So I want to start with you, Reverend. How do you do this? How do you take an investment in a company and then try and get that company to do better work?
Very simply, I think we take seriously our responsibility as shareholders, and we make a commitment to being active shareholders, because if we own something, we feel like we should be responsible in our ownership, and therefore there are a number of opportunities in the process itself as shareholders that give us opportunities to engage management of corporations, privately in meetings, but publicly also through the proxy season, through attending annual meetings, through filing stockholder resolutions. And we try to make use of all those opportunities and those tools to, if we think there's something that a company could improve on, change, do better in terms of their responsibilities, we like to use that as an opportunity to address that with them.
Sister, what have been some of the big companies where you have tried to get change and you've actually seen it occur?
I think for the last 20 years of the 40 years that we've been working on social issues within companies, some of the larger companies, General Electric, Ford, General Motors, a number of the large consumer companies like Walmart, we've really seen, especially over the last couple of decades, some really critical changes in their attention to the supply chain and human rights, as well as their attentiveness to environmental concerns, especially around reducing greenhouse gas emissions.
So as shareholders, you go to the annual meeting, or you make a meeting with the executives and you say, this is what we want to see. We're a player in this because we own your stock. Make it happen?
I think because we're faith-based investors, all right? We are part of the company. We're not, outside activists. We are part of the company. We need to have these companies perform financially, right? Profitably. And we believe that the social piece of that is also part of the financial bottom line. So we go in, and I think these companies have at least a growing perspective of an appreciation for the attentiveness that we can bring to some of these concerns.
Reverend, what do you say to the argument that if you're putting money into a company as a public stockholder, your money is on the line, but you could just as easily take it out of the company and say, well, goodbye Goldman Sachs or goodbye Wells Fargo or any other company for that matter. You're not doing business the way I want it, so you will pay the price.
We, in our policy as faith-based investors, we do exclude a fair number of companies from the get-go. We screen out probably 7–8% of the top 5,000 companies because they don't meet a certain level of criteria. They could be very profitable, but we feel like because of the businesses that they're in, or the product, or the way they treat their employees, or the environment, we're simply not going to invest in them. So the ones that we do choose to invest in, then our commitment is that we want to feel good about the investment. We want to feel like it's consistent with our beliefs and values. And we feel like that can help all the stakeholders in the company to profit from the company's doing well and doing good at the same time.
Sister, I want to ask you sort of a spiritual as well as an economic question, and that is to put your money in a company that may not be living by the law that you would hope it would be. But if there's a huge return on that money, all of a sudden you can turn around and give that money to those in need. How do you make a decision like that if you see an investment that has a major return for you, that you could be doing that great things with the money, but at the same time knowing that the company may not be actively living and operating the way you would want it to be?
I think we work in more of a gray area rather than black and white. So it's a matter of, is this company willing to really engage with its shareholders and move along, or actually commit to some kind of a process to improve? But as Seamus said before, there are some industries that faith-based investors are just not going to be participating in.
Well, we really appreciate both of you being with us today. A lot of great food for thought, and I'm sure people will consider how they invest based off of some of your wisdom. Father Seamus Finn, Sister Pat Daly, thank you so much. We appreciate it.
Thank you. Great to be with
Thank
you.
you.